Okay, everyone, welcome to lesson 5 of our science unit. We got this one plus 2 more to go, and then we'll be through to the end. All right, so review from last time. Tell me, what is an external force? Well, an external force is a force that is applied to something by something else. For example, last time the example I used was a hand pushing a door. We talk about a hammer on a nail, gravity on anything, feet on stairs. So many different things it could be. All right. So the external forces acting on a structure are called its load. All right. So all the external forces acting on some structure are loads. A static load is a load that doesn't move. A dynamic load is a load that does move, right? Static doesn't move. It's static, it stays. You can remember it that way. And a dynamic load is one that does move. So we've got this bridge here. Well, what are some static and dynamic loads acting on the bridge? Well, gravity's a static load because it's not changing. Um, these cars are definitely dynamic because they're moving. These light posts aren't moving, so they're static. They're pushing on the bridge. The water is probably moving, so that's probably a dynamic load, flowing water. Any wind that's pushing on it, that would be dynamic, it's moving. The weight of the bridge itself isn't changing, I hope. Otherwise, it's falling apart. So that would be static. So there's a whole lot here. If this boat crashes into the bridge, that would be dynamic and pretty bad for the boat. Anything like this. All right? When we build a structure, we have to consider all of the loads that will act on it in order to make sure it's not going to break, right? Because if our structure breaks, that could be really bad. So this is where we set what are called performance criteria. Performance criteria are the thing that the structure has to be able to do in order for it to be safe or useful. So let's say I'm going to build a water slide. Now, if you were in class with me, I would be asking for suggestions, taking hands, what have you. But instead, I have come up with my own answers that I'm going to share with you as examples. So, the water slide has to withstand the weight of 200 people at one time. Now, probably you're not going to have 200 people on your water slide, so this is overkill, which is good, right? Because if it can hold 200 people, it's also going to hold 100 people, right? And if it can withstand 200 people, it's probably not going to break. Has to withstand the weight of the water in the slide, right? We don't want the water to break it. Has to be able to withstand high wind, so if it starts to get really windy and the wind pushes on the slide, we don't want the slide to break when it's windy. It has to withstand heavy snow in the winter, right? You can't just put a water slide away for the winter. Snow is going to come down and it's going to fall on it. You have to make sure the snow does not break the slide. Otherwise, come next summer, there will be no slide to use, right? That's next time's. All right. So, your task for today. This sheet, it's called Loads, Bridges, and Performance Criteria. All right, so the first step, you need to tell me each of these things, whether it's static or dynamic. So, cars driving over a road, is that a static or a dynamic load? Are the cars moving? You tell me. Street light on a bridge, the steel used to make a bridge, the wood used to make a desk. Is it static or dynamic? Is it moving or not? The next two, you're going to name me 4 performance criteria. So 4 loads that a pencil should withstand without breaking, and a soccer ball needs to withstand without breaking. Try to come up with 4 for each. The last one, you're going to go through these pages which are attached in your package, and you're going to read about these four different types of bridges. So beam bridges, truss bridges, suspension bridges, whoops, and arch bridges. What I want you to do is on the sheet here, next to it, I want you to draw it, right? So you have a basic idea of what each of these are. Okay? That is your task for today. So until our next one, we got two more to go. Until our next one, take care of yourselves. Have a good day.